So after submitting the petition at the
go, let's go into the room.
To my chief whip to tell you exactly what is in this petition, and I am also requesting that I'm taking this opportunity to also apologize for being a little late for this, but due to no unforeseen circumstances, we could not be able to meet the time as has requested. So I'm going to call on the chief whip with his honorable another prayer.
We intended to come here. And we have already been to the presidency. We've also been to the dean of the diplomatic corps. But in the scheme of things, we know how important Codeo is, especially in our Republican Constitution. Your contribution, significant contribution to our democracy is not in doubt. And so, on the matter in issue, we find it prudent that whilst we reach out to civil society, all parties who are relevant, we should be here. A summary of our petition borders on two important subject matters. The first one has to do with the creeping violence into our electoral violence into our body politics. And the second one has to be with the galamsey. We concede that the Ablekumanov 19 rerun polling stations is not the first time we recorded violence, especially with the 4 Republican Constitution in wake. However, we also believe that as a people and as a fledgling democracy, we can't ever be relapsing into the past. We have to get progressive and make meaningful progress in building our democracy. So those who say that, well, it has happened before, it is happening here, it is happening there, it's not a tenable reason. It's not a tenable reason, and we don't accept that at all. We think that we must get progressive and we must move on as a developing democracy. We are also upbeat because elections is part of democracy. Unfortunately, we got one of our members passed on, and per constitutional imperative, we will have to go for a by-election. From what we are picking, the intelligence we are picking, it appears, if measures are not taken, we are going to experience many folds of what happened, the unfortunate occurrence that occurred at Ablekuma North. We have issued statements. We have spoken in Parliament. We are threatened by the loud silence of His Excellency the President. Ever since the matter happened, the Presidency has not issued a formal statement, to the best of our knowledge. The president himself has not even coughed about it. This is threatening and is worrying. Clearly, it's emboldening those who were engaged in the violence. The perpetrators of the violence are sadly being emboldened. And CDD is a huge player when it comes to democratic tenets, supporting and fomenting our democracy as a country. Codeo, yes, Codeo. And what Galamsey, the evidence is all over. Now, even on highways at risks, foodstuff from farms, heavy metals are being discovered in foodstuff from farms. We are reliably informed. The backyard of the president, hometown, Wale Bambwe.
It's not the headquarters, the residence.
Galamsey is being perpetuated. Galamsey on food security, land conservation, water conservation. We must rise because the concern and the substructure concern of food security is important. Because without the land, we can plant. And Ghana is an agrarian country. We are here to appeal to you. You know how persuasive your interventions has been over the years. We have presented a petition to the presidency, and we have brought a copy to you as an important player, hoping that if it is the case that the concern has consistently and repeatedly been coming from the minority, and therefore it is seen as partisan, we wish you take time and go through this petition. And we are expectant and hopeful that you will put in a word. We have taken the trouble to put the footages, the video footage of the violence that occurred at Ablekuma on a pen drive for your perusal. This is a civil approach. We are not resorting to any violent answers. We are coming via a petition. We are confident that you will act in your wisdom to help foment our democracy. It is all we have. We are grateful.
Thank you very much. You will also observe that currently we have very small number of women in Parliament. So after the presentation, we are going to call one of our women to also speak on this particular issue and to do the presentation.
Ghanaians know it. It's a coalition of domestic election observers. And therefore we are a broad-based organization, member organization, covering most of the major bodies in this country in the civil society space. And so coming to us, we are grateful for giving us this. We'll read it and study it and act. But as you may know, or as you rightly observe yourself, we are always there to ensure that there's peace and democracy, fairness, equity in our country. We did not officially take part in observing the election in 1980. But we saw what happened. And Codeo issued a statement condemning the violence we saw and the inaction of the police, and hoping and praying that one of these days Ghana will come to the point where we've been lauded for having good elections. But we think we should come to a point where it becomes a strictly civil society activity. You go to some countries, nobody calls the police, nobody calls the army. Sometimes it's just a normal thing that people go and vote and go back home. So if we keep lauding ourselves that we are the epitome of democracy and this is what we see, definitely we as Codeo are not happy about it. and we'll keep challenging ourselves and encouraging all Ghanaians that let's come to the point where we are not rubbing shoulders with where somebody does more violence than the other, but that there's peace, justice, equity, and fairness, because that's what we want our country to develop. And no country develops by maiming its citizens and being afraid of a normal civil society thing. So we have received your petition, we'll look at it. You touch on the issue of galamsey, which is of concern to all of us because we are all at risk. We are not here to say much, but just to say we have received it. We are also Ghanaians, we see what is going around. But having received your document, we study it and see how we can all work for a better country that we desire. Thank you very much for coming. And we ask Udil, thank you, and wish that Ghana will be a better country that we all seek. The glory of Ghana for our future and our future.
Citizen TV, Accra, Ghana. Citizen TV, the citizen's power.